Abby and Kat were born in 1997 and became best friends when they were 6. Grew up together and started a band and bonded over music ever since. 20 years later, they are all grown up and spend their free time analyzing lyrics. Now here they are talking all about their Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift. Taylor, if you're listening, we love you.
Welcome to Swiftlore Podcast, where we dive into lyrics and lore of our Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift.
Absolutely, that's why we're here.
I'm Kat.
I'm Abby.
And this week, our Patreon patrons voted for us to do the part 2 of the Punctuation episodes. So I am covering Ready For It.
And I'm covering Question.
So we got our question marks going crazy.
And ellipses.
Because
yours ends with the ellipses question. No,
mine starts
and mine
yours
ends.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Mine is ... Ready For It, question mark. And yours is
question ... question mark. Wow.
Wow. ...
Question mark.
And then ... Mamma mia.
In Swiftlore news this week, guess what? We saw Joe.
We sure did. He was there. We were there.
It was rare. It was okay. So obviously seeing Joe is amazing. And that's something that I've wanted to do for years now. And wow, incredible. I am in a huge post-Animal phase right now. Like, I have not stopped listening to them since the concert. I feel like seeing them live was just like, it's the perfect band to see live. They were so good. It was like what live shows are supposed to be.
Yeah, they were so fun. And like, they were having such a good time. It was so funny because they brought Joe Keery out for like a couple of songs because he's rejoining the band for their next album. And like, you could tell the entire time that he was trying so hard to not have people look at him.
Yeah, he was like in the shadows. He had a hat on. He was all black.
He tipped his hat at the end. It was very funny.
It was. But also for that, he was like right there. He was literally right there because we got there 2 hours early and we're still hundreds of people back in line, but we still had a really decent.
Yeah, I could see him the whole time. I mean, like, I personally was very overwhelmed by the concert. I had just had a sensory nightmare experience.
It was a lot.
There was like where we were standing, the strobe lights flashed directly into my eyes, and I get headaches if strobe lights go off near me. I don't know if it's because I used to have seizures when I was a kid. I don't anymore. But like, yeah, it gives me headaches, and then I get all like, oh my God, am I going to die? You know, health anxiety things. So then, and also we were standing for so long, and also it rained while we were standing in line.
It was,
down, like torrential downpour. And we formed a bubble that was me and our friend Ari that we went with had jean jackets.
Piled jean jackets over us.
So we just were holding up our jean jackets above our heads. So then me and Ari's jean jackets both got soaked. The backs of all of us got soaked. Like my front was dry. My back was soaked. And the thing is, I did not dry off for the entire concert. So my jeans were wet the whole time. I had my jean jacket tied around my waist because I had gone to put it back in the car and then the line started moving so that I couldn't put it back in the car. So then I had to carry the wet jean jacket all night. And also my shirt was, so I was just like having a bad sensory time. And I ended up leaving the crowd during the encore because I thought I was going to pass out. And then Finn Wolfhard came out and I had no idea because I could not tell from the back, and he didn't. Usually when like an artist brings out a guest, they say, and now my friend Finn, and like
they did
he say Finn Wolfhard?
Well, he said Finn. He said bringing the boys out, and then he said Jake, Finn, and the rest of Post Animal that weren't already out, he called them out and Finn. But I didn't register that at the time until all of a sudden Finn Wolfhard was right there in front of me, and I was like, what?
Valid.
What? Which was a wild thing that happened that's not happened at any other show that I can think of. And so Kat was already gone at that point. Ari and I are losing our friggin' minds, and just
I know. And then after the show, we met like right outside the doors, and they were like, "Did you see Flash Mountain?" I was like, "Yeah, like I stayed inside during it." And they were like, "Finn Wolfhard," and I was like, "Oh, I did not know he was there." Because I also like couldn't see like the venue was very cool. It was like a couple steps down to like the main GA area, but then there was like a up the stairs like when you entered, there was a secondary GA area, and that's also where like the merch was. It was, so I couldn't see because there was like tall people.
Yeah, we were right behind some very tall people, and we're tall. Well, Ari's not, but you and I are tall, and I couldn't see. I had a very blocked view of the stage, especially like
it sucked because during the opener where I was standing, it was all short people in front of me, and then the crowd moved in between the opener and Joe, and I could no longer see well.
I couldn't really see much the whole concert other than the people right in front of me. So like I had a great view of Jake, who was not on his phone, and I did love it.
Jacob on his phone and not loving it fame.
Congratulations, Jake. You're no longer on your phone.
At one point, he took something out of his pocket. It ended up being a digital camera. But I went, Jake, are you about to be on your fucking phone?
Oh, he was fun. And I had really good view of Javi as well. And then I had like a decent enough view of Joe, but the other people on the other side of the stage I could not see at all.
Yeah,
the people in front of us were like taking flash photos on a digital
that's the other
camera.
thing is like the opener had a lot of strobe lights, so I had the headache. And then the people in front of us literally spent 15 minutes taking flash on photos. And I was like so close to just being like, hey, can you guys stop taking fucking flash photos? You're going to give me a migraine.
Yeah, and the amount to which people were just recording the entire concert as well.
So annoying.
Because I just wanted a couple video clips, and then a few of my friends said, can you please record these specific parts? And I was like, yeah, sure, fine. So I'm trying to, but everyone's got like their arms up and like with cameras and...
Yeah, I hate... One thing about me is if I'm recording at a show, I'm going to keep my phone eye level or below because I don't need... Like... Why do you need to put your phone all the way up? You can't even see what you're recording. It's probably a shitty video. Like, I literally saw one person who was like holding their phone up recording, like holding it up in the air, and they were shaking like a leaf. And I'm like, that's the worst fucking... You're ruining my view for that shit?
Yeah.
For like not even a stabilized video? Anyways, if you're in a GA crowd and you are... And it's one thing if you like record like one video, a song or something like that, but like the girl in front of you recorded the entire show. At one point she had up her phone and her digital camera.
Yeah.
And both things were not recording stable or good content.
Right. So I couldn't really see much, which was unfortunate. And I did get a few videos, but a lot of the concert was me just trying to sit and enjoy, which I think is how you're supposed to enjoy a concert. I'm really glad for the videos I did get though, because I was very overwhelmed by the whole experience. I was very tired and I was very nervous because then I presented my capstone the next day. Yes. After staying up all night driving home from Toronto. So this week for me has just been a whirlwind. Yeah. I'm finally catching up here.
We're out here. Anyways, TLDR, Joe was amazing. The crowd, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a shame. But I did love Post Animal, and we got tickets to see them again in November.
Yeah, we're seeing them in November. It's going to be such a fun weekend. We're seeing them in Brooklyn, and then the day after that, I'm going to see Hamilton with some of our friends with Leslie Odom Jr. back in it, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to get, the girls going to get back together. The squad.
Squad up.
Squad up, quad up.
Exactly.
Actually, Ari's coming too, so it'll be a sing quad. Whatever a group of five is.
Quintet.
Quintet. Ah, yes, the quintet. So yeah, it's been a really wild week, but now our traveling has concluded for the time being. Yes. Well, actually yours hasn't, because you leave for Halsey next month.
Yeah, I'm going to see Halsey, and I'm also seeing John Proctor as the villain again. Oh my God, we got to talk about John Proctor as the villain. They're up for 7 Tonys.
Yeah.
7 Tonys. And I didn't realize, so they like hadn't set the date of the Tonys, and I'll watch the Tonys usually, but like I'm not like, oh my God, the Tonys are always the first weekend. So I didn't realize we're seeing John Proctor as the villain at the matinee show the day of the Tonys.
Which is wild.
Which is funny. And like I was like, I wonder why our show is at 1 and usually the matinees are at 2. But I was like, whatever. It's also Brienne's birthday. It's really a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish I could go.
I know.
But that's okay. I'm so glad you guys get to go and I get to hear all of your thoughts. The Stranger Things, The Last Shadow
also was up for a bunch.
A ton. I think it was the most nominated.
That makes sense because like their special effects and stuff were like insane.
Truly, yeah. So we got to see, but I said this in the group chat and I'll say it now to you guys because you guys aren't in the group chat, unfortunately. But seeing both of those shows in New York City, I was like, I'm watching history. I'm watching something like really important happening right now. And it was just such a wild feeling. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get to see Joe again, like perform because he's gotten so big. I might see him at Soundside Festival in Connecticut.
That'd be cool.
I might go.
I feel like if I saw Joe again, I would not want to get like GA front of stage unless I was doing like VIP or something. I think that if Joe was like playing like an amphitheater venue or something like that, where like I could sit, that would be my ideal.
Yeah.
I think it'd be because like Joe like put on a great show. I just didn't like the vibes in the GA.
It was really tough, and people had been waiting there all day. There were really intense fans, which we love to see. We love people being intense as long as you're being.
The people next to Ari cried for the entire hour and a half set.
That also happened.
And then she got dehydrated and she had to leave the crowd because she was going to pass out because she cried for an hour and a half.
Yeah, so it was
like I get it,
intense.
I get that like I mean I cried at Taylor Swift during like when she came on stage during Miss Americana. Like I get it, but Yeah, it was
just very overstimulating. There were a lot of emotions.
Overstimulating.
But the show was great. We each had our customized T-shirts that had lyrics from the album on the front and then 29s on the back. And mine said I just graduated for obvious reasons. And when the clip of me singing along to that is ridiculous.
Because I was trying so hard to get you to turn towards the camera and you wouldn't.
Well, because I was too busy pointing at myself. I was like, no, look at me. I just graduated. I did. And then I turned back to you for the why do I feel so bad? But I like half screamed, half sang it. And so I just sound like a dying animal. It is the most ridiculous video of all time, but it's kind of perfect at the same time. Because like that was exactly the vibe.
Exactly.
That's exactly the vibe. And then I was normal for the rest of the concert, I will say. But like that was my moment where I'm like, I'm going to go freaking crazy.
Go cuckoo bananas.
Yeah. So that was our week.
That was our week.
So the question is, are you ready for it?
Bam, bam. I feel like I should go first.
I feel like because you you start with the ellipses, right? And
exactly.
I end with the ellipses.
Almost. So let's do it. So,
the crickets in tandem. You hit both. Crickets, stop.
Ready for it? Bam, bam, bam. So this is the first track off of Reputation, and maybe it'll be the first track on Reputation Taylor's version, if it ever comes out. Love you, Taylor. No rush, no rush. This song was written by Taylor, Max Martin, Ali Payami, and Shellback, and produced by the three people who are not Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This was the second single off of Reputation after Look What You Made Me Do. It debuted in a commercial during a college football game on September 2nd, 2017. And then it was like released to radio the next day. And then it became an official single on October 24th, 2017, which was like a couple weeks before the album came out. I think it was because that October 24th, I think, is when the music video came out, which the music video for this song is so fucking weird and I love it. It's basically like there's two Taylors. There's one Taylor who's not trapped in a box, and she kind of like walks up to the box and she's watching the Taylor in the box, and you kind of think that she's like the real Taylor, but then by the end of the music video, like the Taylor inside the box shatters it with her voice. But before doing that, she has like a couple of fun little Easter eggs. She is on a white horse at one point, a la Fearless era. She also like puts up her hand and like these lightning bolts are like coming from her fingers and like dancing around all around the box. And it looks like the cover of This Is What You Came For, the Calvin Harris song that she co-wrote that like seems like it might have caused some tension in their relationship because he was like, I would never write a song with Taylor. And then like he literally had. And then at the end of the music video, the cyborg Taylor who's in the box, like screams during the like big high note and it shatters the box. And then you find out the Taylor that was outside was actually also a cyborg, but she was a worse cyborg. And like people think that, and then so that the outside Taylor gets like attacked by other faceless cyborgs. Cause also when the thing shatters, it like tears off her mask and then she's just the wires and stuff. And then Taylor that was trapped just kind of leaves up an escalator.
Yeah, this music video is bonkers.
So I was looking into like what the fuck this means because I was like, what? Every time I watch this music video, I'm like, is there a message? There is. People think that it's about how like the Taylor that's outside is like the Taylor that the media has created. And it's like, looks like a real person, seems like a real person, but isn't. And then the Taylor in the box was her. And like even at the end of the music video, she cries like a single tear that is like, oh, she is human.
Yeah.
So that's, people think that it's kind of like her being trapped inside of her reputation or like by her reputation. And then she's able to use her voice, like not any of her like crazy powers couldn't do it, but just like using her voice, she broke out of the box that her reputation had put her in and did whatever she wanted. And overall, this single got like better reviews than Look What You Made Me Do, but there were still a lot of critics that didn't like it. They thought it was generic. They didn't like the fact that she was kind of like rap singing. They're haters, etc. In terms of performance history, this song was the opener of the Reputation tour, as it should be, because iconic. And it was also the opener of the Reputation era at the Eras tour. It's iconic. It's a good opening song because it just hits. And I actually had this song when Reputation came out. This was my alarm for like the rest of that was like my junior year of college, and bestie of the pod Bailey told me like a year ago, she was like, yeah, I felt like the zombie apocalypse was happening like every morning because it would just like wake up and like just bam bam bam.
That's a wild choice as your alarm. I mean, I guess
it got me up.
It was effective.
It was effective. Also, like I only used that for like when I really had to get up. Usually I had like a Fitbit that had a vibrating alarm that I would use for like most days. It was just when it was special occasion.
My alarm for a long time was Lego House by Ed Sheeran. And then like forever to this day, I can't listen to that song because the opening makes me feel weird. It makes me feel like, am I in high school waking up? Do I have to get to class? Like,
that's wild.
Right. So I can't listen to that song, which is unfortunate because it's a banger.
It is a banger.
Oh, I also have a personal connection for this, which is, I think, dear listeners, you will find that I was a much different person in previous years. When this song came out, I was very much just like, okay. So I heard that Taylor Swift rapped, and I was pretty pretentious, personally. And I listened to this, and I was like, where's the rap? Everyone says this is rap. This is not real rap. Because I also wasn't a Swiftie at that, whatever. I'm owning up to this now as like, what a garbage take. Who cares what it technically is? Anyway,
yeah, but like it's vibes.
It's just vibes. It's a good song. It's a banger.
Exactly. And now I'm ready to get in the lyrics. Just overall, this song is about asking like, are you ready for everything that comes along with dating Taylor Swift TM? Are you ready for it? Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
Knew he was a killer first time that I saw him. Like this idea of like being a killer, like lady killer kind of thing, of just like seeing him and being like, oh yeah, like he's a heartbreaker. Wonder how many girls he had loved and left haunted. This line kind of reminds me of Gold Rush a little bit, of like what must it be like to grow up that beautiful, and that kind of idea of like looking at somebody and just being like, yeah, like you grew up gorgeous, like you break hearts, like I wonder how many hearts you've broken.
But also knowing Taylor's history of dating a bunch of guys and having them break her heart, and then like literally writing a song called Haunted. And so now she's like just wondering, like, is this just going to be another experience like that because she has trust issues?
Trust issues. Yeah. But if he's a ghost, then I can be a phantom. I love like the turn from him haunting other girls to being like, yeah, I can haunt him back. So we'll just be ghosts together.
It's like Jet Set Bonnie and Clyde, but
exactly
with ghosts.
With ghosts.
Yeah.
Jet Set, Ghost Bonnie and Clyde.
Exactly.
Also, to make it painful, Dancing Phantoms on the Terrace of Lamo fame.
Okay, so like you didn't have to do that?
I didn't have to, but she doesn't really say phantom that often.
That's so fair. She could be talking about Star Wars for all you know.
She could be. You're so right. You know what? I think that they just released one of the original, or not the original, but the prequels in theaters again. But I don't think it was The Phantom Menace.
I don't know if I've even seen The Phantom Menace. I think I've seen 2 Star Wars movies, but that's a conversation for another time.
2 Wars. It's a Squeakquel. Episode Squeakquel. Anyway, so then also just the idea of like becoming a phantom, like she's willing to like die and like haunt him. So like she's willing to do a lot. So if he's a ghost, I can be a phantom holding him for ransom. She's saying like, if you're gonna haunt me, I'm gonna keep haunting you, and I'm gonna hold you captive until the ransom is paid. I don't know what the ransom is. Like love, I guess. I don't know. It's a cool play on words. I don't care if it makes sense.
Right.
So also, okay, this turn is so cool because it's holding him for ransom. Some boys are trying too hard. It's so good. I love like the turns of phrase in this song are so fun. And that really, I feel like she, even if like, you know, she's not really rapping, like she's just kind of like talk singing, but like she's definitely taking a book from like hip hop songwriting here with like that kind of turn.
She's not a rapper. She's a singer with the flow.
Exactly. Ed Sheeran. Some boys are trying too hard. He don't try at all though. It's really refreshing to find someone and be like, oh, I don't have to like try around you. Like, or you don't have to try around me. Like, this is just, we can just like be ourselves and we're not trying to be somebody else.
Well, I think she's also saying that like, you're just effortlessly cool.
Yeah.
Which is kind of annoying.
Yeah. can't say anything to your face because look at your face. Younger than my exes, but he act like such a man. So I feel like, especially with heterosexual couples, with heterosexual couples, there's kind of an expectation that the guy is going to be older than the girl. It has a long history of it. You know, my grandma was older than my grandpa, so, you know, it can work the other way. Didn't in this case, but... and we also know Taylor has had some bad experiences with dating older men, so it makes sense that she would want to try something new.
Right.
I see nothing better. I keep him forever. I just love that she's just like, yeah, there's nothing else better out there. So I'm just going to keep him forever.
I keep him in my pocket.
Holding him for ransom. I keep him forever like a vendetta. I love the little ta-ta. And like, I love the turn from I'll keep him forever like a vendetta, because it's very much like what the heart of Reputation is, of like, it's a love album that's hidden behind this like tough exterior of like big anthemic sounding songs and like these intimidating like looks and lyrics, and like, yeah, I'm gonna keep him forever like a vendetta. Like she's starting to let her guard down and then being like, right, I'm tough.
Right.
It's kind of like a little kid being like, I got this.
Yeah.
In the pre-chorus, I see how this is gonna go. Touch me and you'll never be alone. The rhythm is just so good. I can't just say it.
No, it's very good. It's very catchy.
Taylor knows how it works when she dates someone. Like, if they're spotted together ever, then they're forever linked to Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just how it is. Even if, you know, a decade later, a lot of her exes are still being talked about in relation to her. So they'll never be alone, because Taylor's name will always be somewhere in the media's mouth related to them.
But it's also her saying, like, in blank space, so it's going to be forever, it's going to go down in flames.
Yeah.
Like, it's possible she's saying, no, if you, like, touch me, and I will literally be with you for the rest of my life, and it'll be great.
Yeah, it can also be that.
It's both.
It's both. Island breeze and lights down low. I love this, like, setting the scene of just, like, yeah, like, you'll never be alone. We'll just fly off to, like, our island, and we'll turn down the lights, and, like, we'll, you know, it's a little spicy. No one has to know. It's interesting that, like, she wrote Reputation during her self-imposed exile phase, and, like, no one knew what she was doing, and she kind of probably had the realization for the first time that, like, she could just do that and just have nobody know what she's doing and, like, keep herself out of the public eye forever, pull a lucky one, trade the rose garden for Madison Square. And now into the chorus. In the middle of the night, in my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby. Okay, flirt.
Okay, Spoicy.
Okay, Spoicy. I feel like when this came out, this was like, because before this, the only like vaguely spicy lyric that we had was like, lights are off, he's taking off his coat. Like, that was as spicy as a Taylor Swift song had gotten.
Right.
And then she says this, in the middle of the night, my dreams, you should see things we do, baby. I don't think she's talking about grocery shopping and picking out, you know, decor. I was thinking of things that couples do that aren't spicy.
In the middle of the night?
Exactly. That's what she's not thinking about that.
A middle of the night grocery store run with your significant other.
Well, no, she's dreaming.
Oh.
In the middle of the night, in my dreams, you should see the things we do.
Sorry, I forgot.
Exactly. She's not dreaming about she's not dreaming about grocery shopping and decor and taxes.
Maybe she is.
Maybe she is, but
I don't think so. But
the implication is a little spicy. And then in the middle of the night, in my dreams, I know I'm going to be with you, so I take my time. She knows that she's going to dream of him when she sleeps, so she's like fine with sleeping in a little bit. It also could be that she knows like in the long term that they'll be together, so she's not rushing into things. She's okay with taking it slow because like she still has him in her dreams, even if she doesn't have him in real life yet. Mm-hmm. So I take my time. Are you ready for it? Bam, bam, bam. Again, with the like, are you ready for everything that comes with dating Taylor? Are you ready for her love, her fame, her chaos?
Mm. You know, because I have Joe on the brain, I'm going to reference Gap Tooth Smile, because the I'll take my time reminds me of Come On Pretty Baby, Let's Last a While. Mm-hmm. Last a while with me. I don't know. This is what it reminded me of, because I have Joe brain rot, guys.
Joe rot.
Come with me on this journey.
Journey with a D in front of it.
Right.
So verse 2, knew he was a robber first time that he saw me. Oh, knew I was a robber first time that he saw me, stealing hearts and running off and never saying sorry. So first verse was like her perspective of the first time seeing him, and this is his perspective first time seeing her. She thought like, oh, he's a lady killer. He gets all the girls, like he's gorgeous. And he's thinking she's just like unapologetically a heart stealer and she's a heartbreaker. And kind of like this idea that as soon as he met her, he was like, oh yeah, of course you're like this. Cause like you're stealing my heart like right now. So like, of course that you must do this to everybody. It can't just be me.
I think it's interesting how this album opens with her saying, I knew he was a killer. I knew it was a robber or whatever. Because she gets proven wrong.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, it's a love album.
Yeah.
But I love that she starts with, I knew this is what it was going to be. And then it's not. It's something a lot deeper than that. I think that's a really cool, like, narrative way to tell the story.
Yeah. And, like, the way that this album opens is so, like, harsh. And, like, there's so much production. There's so much going on. Like, she's hiding behind the music in a way of, like, what her true feelings are. Like, this is a kind of a love song, but it does not sound like one.
Right.
But if I'm a heaf.
If I'm a heaf.
But if I'm a heaf, then he can join the Theist. That's what happened. It's like I was looking at both the words thief and heist.
Yes. I think that's called a spoonerism. The more you know.
Now I know that. But if I'm a thief, then he can join the...
That's a really hard line to say.
But if he's a thief, then he can join the heist and... The next line I have a different note for, so we're just stopping at the end.
Okay.
Very cowboy like me getaway car coded. She doesn't want to steal his heart. She wants him with her as they move on. And we'll move to an island. England is an island. So check. Did that. Again, very like Bonnie and Clyde coded of stealing hearts and running off and never saying sorry and then absconding with your goods off to a...
An island that's supposed to be secluded.
With an island breeze and the lights down low.
Yeah.
And he can be my jailer. Obviously, like, if they were to escape, she's saying, like, he could lock her down. He could be the one that's keeping her grounded and keeping her together. It's also kind of a play on... We know this album is about Joe Alwyn. And Joe and Taylor, you combine it, their names could either be Toe or Jailer.
Which we found out on the first episode of this podcast.
Yeah.
Which, how far we've come.
How far we've come. Burton to this Taylor. So Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton are old Hollywood movie stars that met on the set of Cleopatra in 1963. They got married in March of 1964 and then got divorced in June of 1964. And then they got remarried in 1975 and then divorced again 10 months later. But they had this very like intense, tumultuous relationship. Elizabeth Taylor was married 8 times throughout her life, and Genius pointed out that Taylor had been in 8 public relationships at the point that Reputation came out. I did not fact check that, so if Genius led me astray, then you know
who to blame.
You know who to blame.
Also, that's really cool because she's like continuing to like in like blank space poke fun at what people are saying about her.
And also another like kind of like wild coincidence is that Joe Alwyn's parents' names are Elizabeth and Richard.
Really?
So the Burton to my Taylor is also like a... Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
That's also Genius told me. So if that's not true, that's on Genius.
You mean you didn't ask Joe what his parents' names were?
You know, I try not to ask Joe anything. That Joe, at least.
That Joe.
Every love I've known in comparison is a failure. I get so good. This love made her realize that all of her other loves weren't as real as she thought they were because they didn't feel the way that this one does. I forget their names now. I'm so very tame now. Like, so, you know, she was breaking hearts and running off and never saying sorry, but now she's very tame because he's her jailer, the Burton to her Taylor. He's, like, keeping her together and keeping her, like, on the straight and narrow, I guess, I don't know, of their relationship. And, like, she wants to be tamed. Like, this is what she wants.
It's also interesting because this song is not giving tame. No. Like, it's very explicitly just like, I am not tame now. I'm kind of wild and crazy.
I'm kind of crazy.
But she's like, no, I'm tame now. I'm still a good girl.
I'm so very tame now. Never be the same now. Love changes you. And then we got the pre-chorus again. It's the same. We got the chorus again. It's the same. And then the refrain, because there's not really a bridge. It's just the refrain of "Baby, let the games begin, let the games begin, let the games begin. Are you ready for it?" Falling in love is like a game with her because it's not just falling in love. It's also falling in love and navigating the media and making sure that you're like only as public as you want to be and figuring out how the fans are going to react and how the press is going to react and trying to stay ahead of everything while still enjoying the experience of falling in love. So there's a lot.
I think it's also interesting how at the beginning of Red, State of Grace, they say love's a ruthless game unless you play it good and right.
And then also I was thinking Blank Space, love's a game, want to play.
Lots of games.
Love as game.
Love as game.
Love as game. Game is life. Love is life. Shrek is life.
No. Too far.
Anyways, so then the refrain just repeats that over and over again, and it's just very fun and very big. And then the pre-chorus happens again, and then the chorus, and she does that really cool high note in the middle of the night. Exactly. And then the refrain again, and then it just ends on, "Are you ready for it?"
I sure am.
My discussion question, are you ready for it?
I sure am.
What is it? Who's to say?
The album.
And I was ready for, after this. I remember, like, I've told this story many times on the podcast of, like, the first time I listened to Reputation was Bailey left the CD next to my bed. She moved my glasses and put the CD there with a note on it that said, "This is going to change your life." And she was right. But, like, I can't remember if I listened to this on Spotify or if I literally got in my car and listened to the CD for the first time because that was the only CD player I owned at the time. And still to this day, I only own my car CD player.
Speaking of Bailey, the icon that she is, she messaged the group chat yesterday morning and said, "Oh no, Abby, you're in the group chat."
I know, but I forget.
She said, "Abby, I literally woke up brainstorming ideas to combine your name with shrimps that people know you have a shellfish allergy." That's how she woke up. She was like, "I literally woke up and my first thought was, how can I combine these things?" And then she was like, what did she come up with? One was
Shelbigale, and then
Aballergic.
So if you guys have any thoughts, leave them in the comments below.
I was like, you know what? This is the true mark of friendship. You woke up thinking about me and my allergy.
And also thinking about the allergy and then also thinking we should rebrand you.
Yes.
So that it can be more about your allergy.
One last shrimp tangent. So the other thing was when we saw Post Animal, I was in eyeline of Jake of Anna's phone, and I'll admit I don't love it fame from Change. And the whole time I was like, I had this running joke where I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, the vibes are off. Jake, I don't know you. You're fine.
You're fine. It was a bit.
And I found his Instagram later, and his Instagram handle is Big Shrimp.
So now we know. That's why the vibes were off, because you could sense the shrimp.
I was like, vindication.
Exactly. And if we meet them in November, you can be like, I'm allergic to your Instagram handle.
Yeah.
It's a good conversation starter.
I would say so. So anyway.
So that's ready for it. I was a quickin'.
A quickin', you say?
A quickin'. Like a quick one, but said even quicker, so it's a quickin'.
Release the quicken.
It's released. It's already gone.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose we should move on then. Question. All right. So, Question is the 7th track on Midnights, written and produced by Swiftlore. This is the second Midnight song in a row that I've covered on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the 3rd song in a row that has the F word in it. So,
triple fuck.
I think I'm growing up.
You're graduating, top of your class, furthest from last, and now you get to say fuck.
Apparently so. This song was announced 3rd in the Midnight's Mayhem With Me series. It was performed on the Eras Tour as a surprise song in Foxborough, Massachusetts on May 20th, 2023, and as a surprise song on July 4th, 2024 in Amsterdam, mashed up with The Archer.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Right. Interesting. She really did a lot of things.
That is interesting.
Fun fact, this song contains a sampling of Out of the Woods with the I Remember.
Oh.
Which I didn't realize was a sample, but yeah, makes sense. It's the same.
Yeah. Interesting. Does that mean that she had already re-recorded 1989 Taylor's version before she released Midnights?
Oh, I bet.
I mean, it makes sense, but like confirmation.
Yeah, that's interesting. Probably, yeah. Second fun fact, Dylan O'Brien is also credited on this song as the applause noise, along with Jack Antonoff's sister and Taylor's brother, Austin.
I love that Dylan was just hanging out in the studio and he just kept being on songs.
I think that's amazing because it was Snow on the Beach. He did the drums last week and then the applause for this one. I live for it. In terms of personal connections, I hated this song when it first came out, which I think is so funny. So I was at a period of my life when Midnights when Midnights came out where I was feeling a lot of emotions and the songs either really resonated with me or didn't. And the ones that didn't resonate with me at the time, I was like, no. This was one of those songs I just didn't relate to. Couldn't understand it for some reason, like couldn't comprehend the line of questioning. Now looking over the lyrics, I'm like, why couldn't I just general media literacy, Abby? Just think about it a little bit.
A lot going on.
Anyway, so in my initial reaction, because as you guys know, I live did my reactions, I typed it out. I loved her low voice, so positive there. She has this low tone in the verses. My second thing that I wrote was, haha, she said dickhead.
I was literally thinking with them. I literally was thinking dickhead.
Yep. Because she does. That's fun. I originally ranked it dead last.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is that's so intense. That's so intense of me. It was a really long time where I just really didn't like the song. And then one day you played it in the car and I was like, I fear I was being too dramatic about my hatred for this song.
You know, we've all done that.
Yeah. Because I originally wrote, I hate this song. It's a total skip for me. It doesn't even have lyrics that grip me. It's just boring and I don't really get it.
Yeah, boring.
Yeah, basic. Like, Abby, just, okay? Just. Since then, it's grown on me. And also, researching this, it made me grow on me. Nope. Mm-hmm. It grew on me even more reading about, critical reception. So, Alejandra Gularte of Vulture thought that the track was relatable for those who have an anxious attachment. There were a lot of people who talked about the psychology behind this. NPR's Ann Powers said that the first part of the chorus was an example that portrays romantic persuasion and betrayal, and encapsulates how women's anxiety and uncertainty in love can be exacerbated by other perceptions. Wow, I can't read. Others' perceptions of and desires for them. So just thinking about how other people's opinions can affect your feelings, as in how you feel about your relationship. Mm-hmm. The Guardian picked this song as one of the better album tracks lyrically and complimented its subtle, brilliant touches, particularly the moment when the lyrics simultaneously speed up their rhyme and stop rhyming to depict a drunken conversation. I don't know which part of the song they're talking about, but that's fun.
This is fun.
Lastly, we get another vindicating moment, guys.
Vindication!
My boy Jason also ranked this song last.
You know what? Jason knows.
Jason feels me. This is why I need to talk to him, because I feel like he understands me. He said that while this song doesn't fully congeal, it boasts some fascinating tidbits to pore over. I want to speak to the man that wrote that because I want to know if that's how he talks. Now we get into the lyrics. So it starts off with, remember, which, as I mentioned, was a sample from Out of the Woods. And this sample won the 2023 iHeartRadio Award for Best Sampling in a Song, which I didn't realize was an award.
So funny. The iHeartRadio Awards are just like, what can we do? What can we give awards for? I mean, they literally, I think they just make them up every year. Because this year they had the best surprise song performance.
Oh, really?
Or best Eras Tour moment.
I mean, that's kind of fun.
It is fun, but they have a lot of fucking weird categories.
And they love Taylor. So some people think that this sample makes the song...
Thinks. Sorry, you said thanks. I had to make fun of you.
Okay, that's fair. It's fair, justified. Some people think, singular, that because she samples the I Remember from Out of the Woods, that this song is tied to the person that she wrote Out of the Woods about. It could be. There's a lot of 1989 references in this song. But I literally think that it was just Jack Antonoff going, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And then Taylor being like, OMG, yes. And then they both giggled about it.
Love that.
That's what I think happened personally.
Personally, I think it was a gig.
Verse 1. Good girl, sad boy. Okay, I wrote these yesterday and I forgot I wrote this. She was a good, he was a sad. Can I make it any more obvious? All right. So there's a whole good girl theme in Taylor's songs and also in general because she always tries to do the quote unquote right thing and like spread kindness. But also like I got that good girl thing from Style. I've been too good of a girl from Bejeweled. She was known as like a good, like Taylor Swift is like the good country girl, whatever. And she's slowly kind of broken out of that, but also she still very much promotes positivity and kindness. Yeah. So Sad Boy reminds me a lot of the Tortured Poets Department and how she tends to date tortured poets and how she talks about her Stormcloud boyfriend. Big City, Wrong Choices. Long story short, it was the wrong guy. Mood. Moving to New York City for 1989. And also she's judging her romantic decisions because that's what she hears from other people. So like she moved to the big city and made a bunch of wrong choices because every time she goes anywhere, she's being told that she's dating too many people or she's dating the wrong people or she's doing wrong or whatever.
Yeah, there's no way for her to make everybody happy.
Right. And I think it's interesting how she just boldly claims like I made the wrong choices because I have a whole thing about the concept of right and wrong. Like there are things that are right and wrong, right? But like at the same time, when it goes about choices, you made those choices for a reason. So just doing a broad stroke of I made a bunch of wrong choices, it's like, well, those are the choices you made at the time.
Yeah.
Just try to radically accept them.
Exactly.
We had one thing going on. I swear that it was something. It was rare. I was there. Also, We Were Something, Don't You Think So from The One.
Ouch.
Yep. She knew that she felt it, but did he? She's like, I swear that it was something. Because I don't remember who I was before you painted all my nights a color I've searched for since.
Banger.
And yet I was like, lyrically, nothing.
See, the thing is that Question is a skip for me, and I'm learning that maybe it shouldn't be.
Right, because it's kind of a banger.
It is.
So, first fun fact that I forgot to say earlier, actually, I forgot to write it down, but when this album originally came out, Emma Caulfield, who plays Anya in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, said that this was her favorite song on the album.
Huh.
Yeah, and it was my least favorite, so I think that makes me the opposite of Emma Caulfield. But I'll have to do more studies on this, get some more data.
You need more data. That's what your research paper can be on.
Yes, my next one. So, in All Too Well, I'd like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. We were screaming color from Out of the Woods. You showed me colors I can't see with anyone else from Illicit Affairs. Her life experiences don't make sense anymore because they've been painted by this person who's no longer in her life. So her memories are stained, which makes me think of stained glass windows in my mind.
Ouch.
Right. Like this lyric this is a good lyric right here. But one thing after another. This part melodically is just really fun. Yeah. But to me, I think this is talking about like an unstable relationship, maybe a situationship, on again, off again sort of thing. One thing after another. There's always something going on. There's always drama. Fucking. Because I just highlighted that. And I'm like, what else did I have to say about that? The clean version, she says, lost in. Which I think that works, but in this case, I really love the F word just because it's like one thing after another. It's so good. Situations, circumstances, miscommunications. So,
breakdown, timing. Sad, Beautiful, Tragic.
Oh,
that bridge of just like listing all the things that happened. The train goes off the tracks.
Yeah.
Ouch.
There's always excuses or blurry expectations or miscommunications. It makes the relationship all the more confusing because it's shades of gray. And I have to say, by the way, I just may like some explanations. Were you sent by someone?
Bam, bam.
What? Anyway, she asked different questions.
And question, you're gonna ask me a question on my question song and my questions?
It's funny because you just covered The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, and then this song is pretty similar, except it's like more poppy and less angry.
Yeah.
So the chorus is, you'll never, ever believe, a series of questions.
Dad. I have seen some speculation. Sorry, I know that this is cutting off, but related to Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, that this song is about the same person Who Ever Lived was about.
Oh.
I have seen some speculation, so that's like interesting that like the question of it all.
Yeah, no, it could be very much related to that. I mean, she has a lot of unanswered questions, which is a theme in both songs, so it makes sense. Rob Sheffield made me appreciate the chorus more, saying that this character who's singing wishes she didn't already know the answers to these questions, which I think is painful and delightful.
I love it, and also, ouch.
Can I ask you a question? Proceeds to ask about 10. Love that for her. Did you ever have someone kiss you in a crowded room and every single one of your friends was making fun of you, but 15 seconds later, they were clapping too? It's giving James at Betty's party.
It's giving James at Betty's party.
The juxtaposition of not only being with the wrong guy, but also with the wrong friends who are just like, yeah, way to go, but are also making fun of you behind your back.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of surrounded by the wrong people right now.
See, I always saw that line as like your friend, like you start making out with a guy and your friends are all like, okay, girl. And then they're like, okay, if we clap, do you think she'll stop?
Or maybe it's one of those things where they're like, ooh, and then it's like that kind of making fun.
Like,
yeah.
It doesn't have to be mean making fun.
That's true. It could be either. Then what did you do? So the first part is her asking a series of questions that's explaining her perspective of what happened. Like explaining her situation and trying to get him empathized. Like, has this ever happened to you? It happened to me. Has it ever happened to you? Just wondering. And then the second part of the chorus is her asking questions about what did you do? What did he do after that? What was his experience like? And kind of hoping that his experience was pining over her and feeling guilty about what happened. I used to really hate this chorus. Don't know why. Truly have no idea. So she asks, did you leave her house in the middle of the night? Oh. Did you wish you'd put up more of a fight?
Oh.
When she said it was too much, do you wish you could still touch her? So I think that's her being like, don't you wish you could still be with her a little bit? Is that what's happening? I also think I was confused just by the you and the her of it all.
Yeah.
Because it's like a weird third person switch.
Yeah.
Of pronouns, which reminds me of the love story of it all, where people kept being like, she changes pronouns all the time. It's not that deep. Maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not, but what if we want it to be?
It's just a question. I feel like you have to sing the song in a really intense manner and then do the whole like pull back, hands up. It's just, I'm just saying, it's just a question.
Exactly. She's just like, so like, have you ever kissed anyone in a crowded room? And you know, what did you do? And like, did you leave her house in the middle of the night? Did you wish you put more of a fight? It's just a question.
It's just a question.
Like, it's not. It's a loaded fucking question.
It's many loaded questions in a row.
With a loaded question underneath our bed.
Yes, she did, for sure. Second verse. We got a fun little melody change. Half moon eyes, bad surprise. Did you realize out of time? Another miscommunication. So he pulls up with these half moon eyes, which could mean that he's tired. It could also mean drugs, I guess, because she does mention drugs later. He's zooted.
As the kids
say. Right. So she was on your mind. Like, he's feeling jealous, regardless of it being factual. She was on your mind with some dickhead guy that you saw that night. Dickhead. The clean version. Do you know what the clean version says?
No.
Meathead.
Incredible.
I'm obsessed with that change.
Amazing.
That's
incredible.
Silly, goofy. Silly and goofy. But you were on something. So, could be drugs, could be jealousy, could be a nursery. That's quoting John Mulaney. It's not an actual interpretation. Reminded me of Stronger Than the Drinks at the Bar from Cornelia Street. You were on something, could be alluding to you were on these feelings, you were on drugs, or maybe like you were onto something, as in your suspicions and jealousy had merit to them. So I think that multi-meaning there is interesting. It was one drink after another, fucking politics and gender roles, and you're not sure, and I don't know. This goes hard.
Oh.
Goes
and
hard.
like the way that she's just describing like having a drunken conversation with somebody who's being an asshole, like this is exactly it. It's just like one drink after another, fucking politics and gender, and it's like we're at a bar. I don't want to talk about politics right now.
Right, exactly. Which she goes like, I just may like to have a conversation. She's like, can we just not talk about that? Can we just like talk about anything else, please? And he's just sort of, maybe they're both just spouting their opinions, and it's always this like really engaging, meaningful conversation about current events. And she's like, yeah, but I kind of just want to talk about nothing.
Yeah.
I just want to sit on the couch and eat yogurt with you.
Exactly. Orla Garpland.
That's an Orla reference. So, got swept away in the gray. Gray could mean the blurred lines or expectations in the relationship, or the sadness. It could also be like the loss of color because he painted all her nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The color that she looked for.
Right. Choruses again, it's the same. Bridge. Does it feel like everything's just like second best after that meteor strike? Goes hard.
It really does.
She really wants the answer to be yes, because to her the answer is yes. I love the comparison of love to a meteor strike. It's like this amazing thing that happens once in a lifetime that's destructive, and like meteors come from space, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then you get like the whole astrology of it all in the space, and she loves talking about that. So, and what's that I heard? That you're still with her? This could be another nod to Out of the Woods with I've heard you've been out and about with some other girl, or is it over now? Did you think I didn't see it in the flashing lights? That's nice. I'm sure that's what's suitable and right. But tonight, I must say I still don't really like that part that much. But
it's kind of fun, though.
It's kind of camp, which I can appreciate.
Claire, it's French. Whenever anybody says, I know, okay, but I've seen that scene.
Okay.
And so whenever anybody says that something's camp to say why it's good, I think of that line, and then
I look like a pencil.
Claire, it's French.
Fleabag season 2. Excellent. So I clearly just copy and pasted this from whatever source I got it from, because this is not how I write. So I'm just going to read it. Towards the conclusion, see, you can already tell I didn't write this. The narrator mocks her ex-lover's new girlfriend, with vocals featuring heavier digital manipulation and the production becoming more intense with louder beats, pronounced synth tones, and dense echoing effects, which symbolize how the memories are distorted in the narrator's mind. I don't know if that's what she was going for.
I always thought of like the distortion there as like she's not saying her true thoughts. She's saying like she's being sarcastic, but she's trying to say it genuinely, but then she can't. It's kind of like when you deliver devastating news and then like do finger guns.
Yeah.
That's like what I think of the like synth effect on her vocals here as.
Right. That makes sense. So yeah, that's the song. Now, Kat, can I ask you a discussion question?
No. What if I said no?
Then
yes, you can.
But I don't know what I would do.
I am ready for it.
Okay. Okay. Did you ever have someone kiss you in a crowded room and every single one of your friends was making fun of you, but 15 seconds later they were clapping too?
Yeah.
Kat, let me finish. Then what did you do?
I stayed in the relationship for another 2 months. Sorry, month and a half. No, I distinctly remember a New Year's Eve night out with my ex, and like we were out with my brother, my cousin, and one of my brother's friends maybe, and like me and my ex kissed at midnight, and you know everybody's clapping, and but also nobody liked my ex, including me now. It's fine. At the time, I liked them. Fair.
That's that.
Have you ever kissed somebody? What did you do?
I don't think I have.
Fair.
But I might have.
PDA is icky.
Yeah, I've gotten really private about a lot. You guys know that I rarely share anything. So, but I'm wondering about you guys. Do you relate to this song?
Yeah.
Do you like the song?
Was this a skip and then you're realizing actually I shouldn't be skipping this so much like I just did?
Right. Like I feel like this song's actually kind of a banger now that I've thought about it more.
Banger.
I mean, it makes sense. I love Midnights. And now I'm no longer in the emotional place that I was when it came out, so I can appreciate like the less intense songs.
True.
Because I was just like Labyrinth and Midnight Rain and Yo-Yak and Woulda Coulda Shoulda and Questions at the Bottom.
Yeah.
Like
it just isn't as emotionally intense because it's also like that's part of the song's like theme is that it's kind of like hiding behind like this intense line of questioning is hidden behind this kind of like fun little poppy moment.
Yeah, which is kind of similar to what your song is doing.
Yeah,
in a weird way.
Yeah, so that's actually another parallel between our songs is just hiding the depth of feeling behind a fun little beat.
This sick beat.
Can you play a song with a fucking beat? Like,
oh, also I don't think we mentioned that Orla did Red Wine Supernova. Wow.
Oh, she did Red Wine Supernova. I was super normal about it. I put Abby had brought these sunglasses that are like red heart-shaped ones, and her and Ari, our friend that we went with, were both wearing normal glasses. So then I got the fun glasses because I was wearing contacts. So throughout the concert, I just like at times would be like, I'm going to put on red mode. So I'd put on the glasses, and then like honestly, it looked really fucking cool.
It did.
All right. I was having a really good 420.
You looked cool.
I was having, at one point during one of the songs when I was wearing them, Orla looked at me and just like turned away and started laughing a little bit. And I was like, it's fine.
Excellent.
It's fine. It was funny.
Yeah.
Because also I can just imagine, like, you look in the crowd and obviously, like, you see the front row and, like, you know, I had them, like, on top of my head for most of the show, and you just look over and it's just I'm wearing sunglasses inside.
Well, like, 2 people down from us, there was a person wearing, like, a cone hat.
It was a party hat.
It was a but
it looked like a cone hat.
Yeah. Orla called it a cone hat.
She did.
It was, anyway, that was a great show. Orla, we still love you.
We still love
you, girly.
Even though, and thank you for apologizing for not putting over your head on the set list.
And she also announced she's dropping a deluxe edition of her album the day I graduate.
Yes. So literally a gift.
It's truly a gift.
And it's got Dodie on it.
Does it?
It's a Mine remake with Dodie on it.
Oh, ow.
Ow.
Ouchies, ow.
Ouchies, ow.
Wow.
But there is a Dodie.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she released the track list.
I will not be listening to that on my graduation day.
It's okay. It's the last track. You can
okay.
I'll just listen up to.
I will listen to it eventually once I'm emotionally prepared and not celebrating. But that's awesome. So thank you everyone for listening.
Yes, we don't have any hint songs because next week we have very exciting guests.
I have a hint song. It's Under Your Spell from the episode Once More with Feeling from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Do with that what you will. And I'm so excited for these guests, guys.
It's going to be so excited.
Fun. Other than that, thank you to our Swiftest tier patrons. Bethany M. September, Ashley, Liam, Chelsea. You guys rule the school, as per usual.
Love y'all.
Love y'all for real. And
oh my God, the Zoom just made like little hearts. Wait, because I did like a heart.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's so cute.
There's other ones you can do. Like, you can do thumbs up. Okay. Peace sign sometimes also works. I know because when I used to do sign language over Zoom, sometimes certain signs would trigger. Anyway.
That's so funny.
So if you're watching the visual version of this podcast, you get to see little hearts emerge from Kat's little heart hands, which is very exciting.
Does it work with a Gen Z heart?
No. It doesn't work with this one either.
What? This is not a heart.
Yes, it sure is. What do you mean that's not a heart? That's the thing now.
Like this, so like it looks like a heart like that?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know what that meant.
Yep, it's a heart. Isn't that? I'm sorry.
Why is it just like they're like seeing how few fingers they can use to make a heart? Like went from heart hands to like just the 2
to this,
and then now it's just
transforming. What was wrong with this? Well, I guess like so. For example, at the Joe concert, I wanted to do this, but sometimes I couldn't because I didn't have both hands. So that's when this would come in handy. But imagine you're just at a concert, you look down and it's like, am I holding up a tiny violin? Anyway, so on that tangent, if you want to see clips, I'm doing memes again, guys. I'm doing the memes. So those are all on our Instagram at Swiftlore Pod.
And on our TikTok at Swiftlore Pod.
So if you want to do that, that's cool. All links to various things are going to be in the show notes. So check that out. We love you. You're great.
You're the best.
You're the best.
Have the best week.
Heck yeah.
Crispy high five.
Let's do it.
This time it actually matters.
Yeah. Oh, ow.
Ouch. Crispy. Bye.